Okay, so in this video, we're going to talk about a couple things ongoing with this issue. So it sounds like they want to go after your cabin, which is not up to their, recommended required size of
Well,
600 square feet.
yeah, they said, living out here in a dwelling less than 600 square feet. However, it's documented. It's been on the tax rolls since 1999. Now he's telling me, well, you better make sure they pulled a permit. Well, did they have to have a permit in 1999 because it was built according to the building codes in effect in 1999? Now, it's a violation of federal law to make an ex post facto or de facto law. If that thing was legal by the building codes of 1999, it's legal today. You don't have to have a retroactive permit. So his saying that this is an unpermitted structure is a charge that does not hold water, especially since it's been here for 16 years now, and there's never been any other citation on it saying that it needed a permit.
And what they're doing is illegally coming on the property. You have your property line clearly
Right,
on
he
display
clearly
out
came
front.
on my property illegally. I told him that if he came back on my property, please have a warrant. He said he'd have a warrant unless he has to enforce building codes. Well, he's got no building codes to enforce, and he has no authority to come on my property to enforce any building code without a warrant, because the code is not law. So even if he sees a violation, he has to get the warrant, because a violation of code cannot be construed as a criminal act. I know they're processing Neil and Penny on violation of code as a criminal act. That's illegal.
I want to make a note that you are associated with Penny and Neil Taylor, and you've been just a friend of theirs. And so it's not outside the realm of possibility this is targeting, because they're involved in a high-profile case in Costilla County.
Well, I said a lot of things less than complimentary about the whole damn thing, and there's something here that's more rotten than what's rotten in Denmark. Now I can see that there's some kind of retribution trying to go on. What is this here? Like I say, I'm a 100% disabled veteran. I've been hospitalized 5 times the past year with congestive heart failure. I've been hospitalized once with damn near complete liver failure. I came close to being hospitalized with renal failure. I've been hospitalized with coughing up blood, and all I want to do is get my health up good enough where I can get to some sandy beaches that's got bikinis on it, and they want to come around here just screwing with people. Why don't they just back off and let people live their lives? I'm not making a mess out here, and I'm not tearing stuff up. I'm just trying to wait until I can see my doctor and get a clean bill of health to travel.
And we're up in the mountains right now, the San Cristo mountain range area, beautiful area, but not exactly cheap land. You spent a pretty penny to get the land to begin with. We're not out in the prairie right now.
No, we're not out on the prairie. And actually, everybody tells me I got this property fairly cheap, which was 3 5-acre lots, 15 acres altogether, at, let's see, it came to about $3,000 an acre. Now, down in the flats, 1,000 acre or less. I've seen property down there going for less than $2,000 for a 5-acre lot if the person had cash. Because, money talks, bullshit walks.
And on that note, Mr. Bacon, the so-called billionaire conservationist, so much land he's bought, and he got it for about $1,000 an acre. And so it looks like he may be a player in this. We don't know. But, my stay looking around these mountains and these trees, I'm really wanting to know who's really trying to control this. Who's really trying to push these people out of the mountains, off the prairie? What is the real agenda?
I don't know, but I've heard that they've done this type of crap before. I won't say anything as to where I heard it from or all that, but this is something they do about once every 50 or 60 years, is try to run all the people off. They want to entice you in here with sweet talk about, this undeveloped land, and you can camp on your property while you build and stuff like that. And then the moment you buy the property, they want to start yanking the rug out from under you. Now, I don't know what kind of crap is going on with these changes in building codes. I know they're coming around trying to enforce codes that have not been put into effect yet. So, and even if so, if this structure that's on my property having been built in 1999, is legal as a residence in 1999 by the building code of that day and all like that, that is not something that you could take away. It classified it as a residence. So what are they doing here? They're coming around and saying, do you have this, do you have that? Because we changed our building code. Well, the building code you have today, and believe me, I know that you need to have good sewage and all like that. I'm all in favor of every bit of that. And it has to be properly engineered right. I worked enough as a civil engineer. But there's one thing I do know, though, that obviously they don't, and they're going to be in planning and zoning. They need to figure out how where they're at so they know they can find their hands with a map and a flashlight. They can find their ass with a map, flashlight in both hands. Because
a shake-up in that department definitely is needed. There's a lot of rumors about Matthew Valdez and other rumors about maybe Matthew Valdez being held accountable for some of his actions recently. So, like, there's things happening behind the scenes that we're hearing about.
I hear a lot of stuff about behind the scenes. A lot of it's just rumor and things like that. But, you know, if you want to fight fire with fire, there's that yellow dog journalism crap. I can do that too, but I don't like it. I think there's some that know that I can do it if it comes down to it. But there needs to be, you know, they need to pull back on their violation of property rights. My property rights were clearly violated today, both my Fourth Amendment rights and my Fifth Amendment rights. Like I say, while they were on my property, she took pictures without my permission, without my consent, while inside my property boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's talking about he's going to have the county come out here and determine if this is a county road. Do I have a driveway access permit or anything like that? I don't know what he's talking about.
You were hit with 5 violations. That was one of them.
All of this stuff here was included when I bought the property, is all I know. And when I went down there to get an address I only got the address, 7879 Combs Road. They cite these violations on. Only applies to one 5-acre lot. There's 2 other 5-acre lots it does not apply to. This is the one in the center. So, you know, I'm not trying to make a battle or anything like that, but we're going to stick to the letter of the law. And there's no code violation that they can cite me for once I leave. They can say that that's an unpermitted structure, but then their own records show that it was there in 1999.
So there's a court case tonight for Neil.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some videos that are going to be shared with the attorneys and the judge showing Rick Rodriguez pushing people down the street. But is there anything you want to say about what you saw that day and what you think the county is trying to do to Neil and why?
What I've seen going on, what do they call it, agitprop or counterintelpro, counterintelligence, propaganda crap. But what I saw was a classic setup of a black ops type operation. You had the agitators came in there were supposedly the local residents and the locals that were against the off-gridders and all like that, and they were the ones that were stirring the crap up. But the ones that the police were pushing down were the pacifistic off-gridders. The same thing happened again at the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. It's a setup. I mean, you know, I don't know if they used the KGB or the CIA handbook on that stuff, but it's probably just common usage by all police departments everywhere now.
Well, Devin Pinion, for example, is actually taking a page from the government, saying these people could be terrorists because a few of them said they're sovereign, and trying to draw that type of a distinction to try to create that type of prejudice or fear towards a new coming group because they're white and they say they want to live in freedom. I think that's immoral. I think that's evil. I think that should be addressed if that's what we may be looking at here.
Well, I've got that display case over there. Bronze Star, Air Medal, 2 Purple Hearts, all the rest of them, they're all and everything. Most of those I had before I was 21 years old. I put my life on the line defending the rights to have to my property, to my life. And I have that right to have an honest and corruption-free government. And this just ain't happening. So you tell me, you give me the answers. Used to be those things over there meant something. All it means today is I'm a probable domestic terrorist. And that's what you just saying about painting us as terrorists. What makes me a terrorist? Is it because I believe that my oath to the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, is real? Is it because I want that type of government that will exist in this country? Is it because I want the rights of freedom and liberty that veterans and patriots have shed their blood defending for generation after generation? Are we to give that shit away now? I mean, Lord, it was bad enough. Went to Vietnam. We won the battles on the battlefield for the most part. And then Henry Kissinger turned around and gave everything away we'd fought for at the Paris Peace Accords. So what are we doing now? We're getting to the point where they're trying to take everything away again. Only this time, it's the U.S. citizen. That's it.